Here we go. Call it. Call it. Call it. Tails. You were right. Hello, and welcome to Storytime with Isto. You've reached chapter 30 of Tarot Tales, a weekly gathering where I tell a little known fairy tale based on a randomly drawn tarot card week after week. And those of you that have been following along know that this has been a very special book, a very special chapter, because at the end of this, I'm going to draw the remaining cards for book 4. And like all of the other episodes of this season, I'm trying out some new stuff. I'm going to start by letting you know the theme of this book's scavenger hunt clues. If you were able to guess them correctly, then you would have spelled one word that I've said at least once in this series. And if you put it at the end of the hyperlink, storytimewithisto.com/this word, you will be taken to a very special prize. Go forth. Enjoy. Let me know if you get there. Now, for this week, we've got a very special card. The Three of Cups reversed. And I love, love, love the meaning of this card. Take a moment to take it in and let me know what kinds of things you notice, what stands out in the imagery of this card. What things might be the same from previous episodes? So for me, they look like they're just having a grand old time. And that's basically what this card is representing. It's representing celebration, camaraderie, partnership in a creative project because we're in the cups, so we're dealing with the hearts and the emotions still. A lot of the art that I saw got really coveney with this. These three kind of witches hanging out, holding up these cups, celebrating. We drew this card upside down, which means that it's a canceled celebration, something that didn't go as planned, which is all too fitting for today. And the idea that you should collaborate with others rather than working independently. And I think this is a very fitting card for me to be drawing at the end of my third season because I drew this card um, right as things are about to start changing. When I started this show, we were still very much in lockdown, wasn't able to go out and go anywhere. Every time I did an episode, I was breaking down. Every time I finished an episode, I was breaking down. And now, even though for tonight's episode, I've been kind of thrown off kilter and I'm not as prepared as I normally am, I'm still not that stressed and I'm just happy to be here with all of you. I've also spent a lot more time reflecting on kind of the individual nature of art and reflection and how I spend that. And so I think it's really fitting that this is going to flip starting today. So thank you all that have joined me on this journey. As for the story we have this week, we are going to the Federated States of Micronesia, which some of you may not know where that is. So let me show you. We're going to go on a little journey together. Come with me. So I've got a globe here, and if we spin it around, we will find the giant sticky note that I put in right here. And the fun thing about doing this on my phone is that I can flip this around. Ignore those Triscuits. They're part of the magic. And here we have Australia. And then up here, we've got the Philippines. And so then if we cut over from the Philippines, then you'll start to see right here, Truk Island. That's actually where this story is coming from, sometimes called Truk or Truk Island. For this story, it's called Chuk Island. So that's where we're going to be focusing our attention. And to zoom out a little bit, we've got the Philippines here, Papua New Guinea, Australia. So that's kind of the world that we're looking at. And if you were with me for our last episode, then the kind of Oceania world that the king was proposing would have spanned this whole section of the globe, which I find just fascinating. Alrighty. For drinks this week, we have a couple of different beverages for you. The alcoholic beverage I have is called whale skin. Gonna try not to burn everything down. For non-alcoholic drinks, we have an apple highball. And I fell behind and did not have the ability to prepare for either of these. And so ceremoniously, I'm going to be doing a shot of absinthe with you all. So, oh goodness. You know what? We're gonna stay with it. We're gonna get my handy dandy story time with Isto pop socket. Here we go. Okay. So here we go. And I decided to put it in the silliest little glass I could find, which you probably can't see. Let's see if we can get the candle here. It's a rooster shot glass that I inherited from my grandmother, who always made a good time, even when things were going a little crazy. And the drawing that I did for this week is of one of my favorite places on the planet. It's Winedale with a kind of a little revelry after. Okay. Whether you're joining me live or later, for being here at all, I say cheers. Does it look as delicious as it felt? All right. So the story this week is called The Island of the Dolphin Women. And the story itself is set on the atoll of Chuuk. If you don't know what an atoll is, it is a kind of circular island with a hole in the middle. And the way that these form could come from a variety of different ways. One of the more popular theories, and the most widely accepted up till now, is the idea that a volcano would form in the center, a coral reef would form on the outside of it, and then the volcano would fall down and collapse, leaving the water in the center. And the Federated States of Micronesia are actually a series of atolls that are connected, of which Chuuk is one of them. So that is where our story is coming from today. Once upon a time, there was a chieftain's son. And he decided that he was going to sail around the world. He decided to go and study with all of the best swimmers that existed on the island of Chuuk and started sailing with them on a regular basis, swimming every single day so that he could be good and strong and be able to take over the world. One of these days, he was decided to be the tiller, the person guiding the canoe as they were going out into the sea. He was overjoyed. This was the most responsibility he had ever been given. So he strapped himself in, and the canoe went off deep, deep into the ocean. After a while, they decided to turn back. But the chief's son noticed that there was a pod of dolphins swimming beside the boat. He tried to call everyone else's attention to it because it was a beautiful sight, but they were all focused on their near approaching home. And before he knew it, one of the dolphins' tails whipped out of the water and knocked him into the ocean without a splash. The canoe was going so smoothly and the waters were so still that none of the men noticed the man's legs dipping into the ocean. The young chief's son did not freak out. He did not panic, for he had magical powers. So he spoke to his magical powers and asked if he should go north, south, east, or west, for he knew he was strong enough to make it back, if only he were given the direction. But the magic powers returned with a surprising response, indicating down. He didn't know what to think about that, but he decided to trust his instincts. And down he dove. And even though he was starting to feel as though he was going to run out of breath, he continued to swim down and down and down. And right as he was about to gasp for air and breathe the liquid into his lungs, all of a sudden, he fell, consumed by gravity, through clear air into what seemed like a bubbled island. He landed smack onto the sandy beach of an island at the bottom of the ocean. It was beautiful. There were wonderful trees, fruits, and a freshwater pool in the middle. He was ecstatic and so shocked to see all of these things. He caught his breath and began to explore, but then thought that maybe someone would think he was an intruder. So he hid in a nearby bush to wait and see who owned this beautiful home. Before long, he heard a oh man, I can't make it that high pitch. That feels better, but maybe a bit more like a chicken. They're dolphins. He heard dolphins in the distance, and one by one he looked up as he saw 7 dolphins drop from the top of what looked like the sky directly into the freshwater pool. Plop, 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 plop. And one by one, they swam their way to the edge and then pulled off with one flipper through the middle of their skin, if there was a zipper through their actual dolphin skin, and shed it entirely, becoming humans in a dolphin's outfit. They were the most beautiful women that he had ever seen, each one more beautiful than the last. And they laughed and they talked about all of their adventures through the day. And the chief's son became quite enamored with the last dolphin to disrobe her skin. So he decided to sneak up and steal it. The young women enjoyed each other's company, laughed, and swam, and did whatever half human, half dolphin people do in their little bubble island. And then eventually it was time for them to go again. And one by one, they robed up in their dolphin attire and jumped from the fresh water up into the sky and swam away. Everyone except for the most beautiful young woman, who sat down, sad that her friends had decided to leave her, and cried. The young chief's son, his heart broke, for he had fallen in love with this woman. He went up to her, carrying the dolphin's skin. She recoiled from him, terrified. "Who are you? How did you get here? Why did you take my skin?" He said, "I'm sorry, I just wanted to talk to you." This calmed her down, though maybe shouldn't have. She said, "How did you get here?" He explained that he had been knocked off of his canoe by a dolphin. "Oh," she said, "sorry to say that was me. I wanted to talk to you." What a cute little meet cute. They laugh, they giggle, they hold hands, and she shows him all over the island. He decides he wants to stay with them. But before long, they hear the whatever the dolphin sound is coming from above, and they all pop in. This time they're a little angry and curious. "It smells like human in here." "Oh, no, no, not at all," says the youngest and prettiest dolphin. "You're lying to us. You're trying to hide him," they all say. So she says, "Well, what if there was a human here? What would you do if there was a human here?" And they said, "Oh, we'd marry him. We'd be so nice to him. We'd be so happy for his company." So she goes, "Okay, he's hidden over there." And then they went and they tore up the bushes where he was hiding. And they were so excited. They genuinely were happy. One of them wanted to marry him. One of them wanted to swim with him. One of them wanted to spend time and just hang out. They were just so happy to have some company. And he was overjoyed as well. They decided to have a big feast, but they only ate pure and raw food. So the young chief's son decided to show them how to make fire. He broke two pieces of wood and took a stone and turned it into a roaring flame over which he cooked a number of delicious foods that they had never tasted before. And so he taught the dolphin women how to enjoy food in a way that they otherwise never would have been able to. After this, he continued to spend and enjoy his time day after day, month after month, until he grew to miss his tribe quite a bit, and he decided he was going to go home. He was nervous, however, at how all of the dolphin women were going to receive this information. So one day, he approached the young woman and said, "It's time for me to leave. I miss my family. They must think I'm dead." She broke down crying. She ran to tell her sisters. They broke down crying. It was a really hard time for everyone. But they agreed to allow the man to go back, and they built a cage and stocked it with all of the delicious fruits and goods from their special island under the sea, propped it on their backs with the young chief's son in it, and swam from the freshwater lake all the way up into the sea, all the way up into the sky, and took him back to his home in Chuk. And when the chief's son's tribe saw him, they were ecstatic. They were so grateful to the dolphin women for bringing him home, for the gift of life. The end. It's a short and quick little story today. I really like it for a couple of different reasons, specifically for the Three of Cups. First of all, I think it's really lovely that that the dolphin and the sun love each other. There we go. That worked out all right. Um, the lighting is so much better in here. Get it done from in here. I guess I always do. That would defeat the purpose. The reason that I like this is because the meet cute is really nice. They both do something kind of bad to meet one another, which is lovely. Um, the the youngest dolphin woman is not able to join her friends, which is like a cessation of that ceremony, which in and of itself is quite sad. So we're kind of going from like upwards to reversal to upwards to reversal, like a lot throughout this show. We've also got that kind of coven aspect with the series of dolphin women that are hanging out. Um, and ultimately he decides to leave, right? So that ends the ceremony, the kind of like wedding esque quality. It's simple. And there's also like no ill will. It's a very kind of pure story because while he does steal her skin, he apologizes because he just loved her and he just wanted to spend time with her. And she is doing all right as well because she loved him and she just wanted to spend time with him. I don't know. It's a cute one. I think the absinthe is maybe hitting me a little bit. So let's move forward. I believe we now get to do my favorite thing, um, which is draw the cards for next season. So I did not get a chance to shuffle these ahead of time, so I'm going to split this 7 times, which is what I tend to do. And while I do that, 1, 2. I'm not going to be able to do anything else while I do this. 3. I stand so you can see this. 4. 5. 6. 7. Alrighty. Chapter 31. Oh my god, the 7 of Cups. I love this card! Oh, and I always have this feeling that the energy of this first card is what sticks with me, and this is all about decision and choice. And look at these fun fucking choices that I get to make. Ah, delicious. Chapter 32. You all are seeing these before I do, because I actually can't see what the cards are. Oh my god, the 9 of Pentacles. All right. Chapter 33. We've got the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Chapter 34. 3 of Pentacles. 35. The Sun. Huh. 36. The 2 of Pentacles. Pentacle heavy, my friends. 37. The Hierophant upside down. 38. 8 of Pentacles. 39. Ace of Pentacles. What is happening here? Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alrighty. And chapter 40. The Page of Cups. Alrighty. Well, that's what we've got coming up. My gratitude, very heartfelt gratitude, goes to the person that correctly guessed and for the first time fulfilled my dream of calling the coin. Thank you, Michael. I love you. And with that, may you be happy, or brave enough to sit with whatever else arises. May you be healthy. May you treat yourself with love and respect. May you continue to grow and find the strength to persevere through the painful parts of growth. May you find inspiration all around you, and may you find peace. Thank you for joining me this week and this season, book, chapter. Until the fall, y'all.